Welcome into KSU Nation, the best K-State and Big 12 podcast out there. I'm Stevie B.
And I am Kenny G.
And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about possible conference realignment. Again, it's like every summer. It feels like it happens. We're going to be talking about the Big 12 possibly doing a showdown of the ACC and then ranking our Big 12 quarterbacks. Kenny, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing pretty good. It has been extremely hot these last couple of days. Yeah. And so I've been outside. And yesterday I was so exhausted from being outside. Like I was just dying. And yeah, it makes me excited for the colder weather. Definitely. And what comes with colder weather is college football, man. And I cannot wait. It is just right around the corner, Steve. I mean, we are trying to ramp this up. We're trying to give the people what they want. They want that college football content. They are chomping at the bit, Steve. They're chomping at the bit for some college football content, and more importantly, Big 12 content. But we're not going to go to the Big 12 just yet, Steve, right? I think we have some news over in the East. I would say the Southeast.
Yeah, coming out of Chapel Hill, the Southeast. Big news out of ACC land. North Carolina possibly has a handshake agreement to join the SEC by 2030, paying $75 million to get out of the conference, to join another conference, to join the Southeastern Conference. There's been reports that Clemson would be joining them to go to 18 teams in the SEC, matching the Big 10 in terms of how many teams they have. This is wild, man. Like I said earlier, it feels like every single summer, these schools, these teams, they start thinking about, maybe the grass is greener elsewhere. I honestly, I don't get it. I know that, North Carolina is a pretty big market. You got Charlotte, Raleigh, all of that stuff, Greensboro. But man, I do not get it. Like, North Carolina has really never been great at football, as my K-State flag falls down. They're a basketball school, but I guess it does get you into North Carolina. And if you bring in Clemson, that's another South Carolina team to join, of course, the Gamecocks of South Carolina. Kenny, your thoughts on the Tar Heels possibly joining the SEC by 2030?
I don't like it. I just don't like it, man. Because then, you have to replace those teams in the ACC, and it's just going to make.
Computer issues here. Give me just 1 second. Let me add them back in.
Are we still live?
We are still live. Sorry, go ahead.
We're still live.
We're still live. Go ahead.
So I just don't really know. You have to replace these teams, and what does that mean for what does that mean for SMU that literally just spent all this money to get into that conference, to also not get a paycheck for a while? They were probably assuming that they were going to have teams like Clemson and North Carolina still in the conference, because that was going to eventually pay off in the long run for them, is having, being on the same bill as these other teams. So what does that make? What does that mean for their contract now? Because now the ACC is not what it was. And to be fair, they did elevate that conference in terms of football because they went to the playoffs. So, first year in the conference. So, what does that mean for FSU? Where are they going to go? Because they would have been arguing that they were the better team to go to the SEC or the Big 10. And so it's just a big mess. I don't like it at all. I feel like it doesn't mean that you're a lesser team just because you're playing in a different conference. I mean, you could say that being a big fish in a small pond or whatever is not as good as being a middle fish in a big pond. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me, Steve. And I understand there's more money to be had in the SEC. But is that really what they're going for? Are they really just going for the dollars? It's weird to me. And yeah, North Carolina, you do have a small market there. But they're really only offering basketball as a real chance at their, you know,
Adding
program
value
or
in terms of adding value to the
value
conference.
to the And Clemson, you are adding football and basketball for that matter. They're pretty good at basketball. So they're a really good school. I just feel like you're ruining it. It would be like as if Alabama, it would be like Alabama, they would never do this, but it'd be like Alabama leaving to go play for the Big 10 if the Big 10 just keeps winning over and over and over again. And then they become the powerhouse conference. Then Alabama would leave to go to the Big 10. It would just be weird. It was just because, like, Clemson, I feel like Clemson's like one of those staple schools for the ACC, kind of like how OU is like a staple school for the Big 12. It's just weird that they would leave like that. And it's just, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I hate the realignment. It's like, why don't you just stay and play against the same schools that you've been going against? You know, this is what rivalries are about. You know, it makes those non-conference games more special. You know, when you do beat a team that's out of your conference that's regarded as a better team, like, you know, if a Clemson does go against Alabama and then they win, it's like a huge deal. You know, but now it's just like, oh, they're in the conference now. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't like it. It's kind of boring to me to see it all happen because it's, you know, the reasons why. It's all because of the money.
It's all because of the money, and that's been happening.
It takes away from the heart of the sport.
Yeah, I mean, we've lost regional rivalries, you know, with Nebraska, obviously with Colorado for 15 years or so, and it's happening all over. We got freaking UCLA and USC in the same conference as Rutgers, and they're on they're in way different sides of the country. Like, it's crazy how different college football is now compared to back in, you know, the year 2000 and before. Like, it feels like there was no conference realignment up until probably 1992 or 96 with the SEC and the Big 12. And like that really, I mean, after that, it was still another 15 years before, you know, Nebraska and Colorado left. And then that opened the floodgates for Missouri, Texas A&M. Then obviously the last couple of years, seeing Oregon, Washington, USC, UCLA leaving. It's just wild out here, man. It is. And I'm interested to see if this actually happens or if the ACC decides to figure out a way to keep them in a conference now. Because this is still looking, 5 years into the future, because they have to wait 5 years before they finally get to a manageable buyout of still $75 million. But if you're looking at like a TV payout, like what's the difference between the SEC and the ACC? It's only $7.5 million. When I say only, of course, I would love to have $7.5 million like that. That's a big deal to you and I, but like, it doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal per team. But I think the thing is about the perception of the ACC versus the SEC. It's pretty big, right? Like the SEC and Big 10, they want 4 teams in a conference every single year. Of course, the ACC is not going to get that. So you want to be in the premier conference.
You mean 4 teams in the playoff every year?
4 teams in a playoff every year per
yeah,
conference.
You said the 4 teams in the conference. I'm like, well, they're definitely going to have that.
You knew what I meant. I'm sorry. Yes.
They're almost going to have 5 times that amount.
Yeah. I mean, so like last year, for instance, ACC got 2 teams in, right? They got Clemson and SMU into the college football playoff, you know, and the SEC and Big 10, they both want 4 teams in per year into the CFPs. And of course, you know, you're going to get the best athletes, the better people to help you win football games by being in a better conference. Now, here's my question. Where does Florida State go? Who does the Big 12 want out of the teams that are left? Does the ACC implode or do they stay together? Here's what I think. I think if the ACC does implode, I would go after Pitt. That would get you your rivalry back with West Virginia. I would go after North Carolina State. I would go after
Miami, maybe?
Virginia Tech. And then possibly go after whatever best team is left after that. I mean, Syracuse will get you up, obviously, in the New York area. You can go after
what if we would have stayed in
Georgia Tech would get you the Atlanta. Like, there's a lot of really good area. Markets in that conference, man.
What about like the Florida area?
Yeah, Florida State. Florida State, right?
I mean, we already got
Miami.
We already got UCF. I mean,
Go get Miami.
let's
Go
capitalize on the Florida market. You know what I mean?
For real.
Yeah, it's just a mess.
It is.
I don't like it, dude. I really don't. I like shout out to what's his name?
Josh Pate.
Yeah. He actually did his own like realignment conference. He actually brought back the Southwest Conference or whatever, which is kind of cool with their cool logo that should have never been taken away because that logo is awesome. But yeah, I mean, I do like how the conferences used to be when, Mizzou was in our conference, Nebraska was in our conference. I mean, it's just it made more sense to do it that way. It doesn't make sense the way it is now. It's so bizarre. Like, why in the world is Oregon in the Big 10? It doesn't.
Money.
It's just weird.
Money.
It's just so weird. Yeah, I get it. I understand it's money, but it's just dumb. They're trying to make it like a thing that it's not. And it's like these schools, like what makes college so unique and so loved is the students and the connection to rivalries that are close. Like, it's really hard to travel across the entire country. It's a big country. Can't just be traveling from Oregon all the way to freaking Syracuse or whatever. I mean, they're not in the Big Ten, but you know what I mean?
Like Rutgers.
Yeah, like Rutgers. There you go.
Or Maryland.
That's ridiculous.
That's
ridiculous.
Stupid. It's stupid.
But nobody from the other team is going to be there. You're just going to be like playing in front of their crowd. Like, it's just dumb, man. I don't like it at all. It's killing the heart of the sport. And I mean, we've gone over it 1,000 times. I'm sure a lot of people have gone over it, how they don't like it. But, this is just something that you can't get away from because a lot of people now, they're just watching it on their. I mean, a lot of people are not even going to games as much. They're
just watching it on TV or watching it
online. Watching it on TV. It's kind of like why like it doesn't make sense for people to be making stadiums that are like 70,000, 80,000 plus seats. Just make a stadium that's like 40 and fill that out. What was it that Bill Snyder didn't Bill say like don't build empty seats or something like that?
Yeah, because they kept wanting to expand onto Bill Snyder Family Stadium and possibly get it up to 55 or 60,000. And I mean, K-State's been going strong at 50 to 51,000 per game the last 3 seasons, but before that it was looking between 44 to 46,000 average per game. And and that's not great. Is imagine that crowd in a 60 plus 1,000 seat stadium. It'd look really bare, man. It would look really bare.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you said, K-State's fan base has absolutely exploded, and we have basically sold out every single home game for the last like 3-4 years. I mean, basically ever since after COVID,
Yep.
And I think a lot has to do with, Chris Kleiman and how he has just made every single year a must-see year for the Cats. I mean, he has really made his teams year in and year out like fantastic teams. So, shout out to him for, keeping the Cats super competitive and, and it's just been exciting. So, well, enough of North Carolina. There's not much to really say. I mean,
I don't like it. I hope it doesn't happen.
I hope it doesn't happen. I mean, the best thing that ever happened in North Carolina was that Michael Jordan went to your school. Okay. That's basically that's the best thing that ever happened. Stay in the ACC. It's good for you.
Okay. Next thing I want to talk about is something that you sent me because we're talking about the ACC. This is a Big 12 channel, a K-State channel, but there's been some talk on the interwebs, on the Twitter machine, the X machine, I guess, of a possible ACC versus Big 12 showdown. We got 11 or 12 games here, Kenny. They got K-State playing Miami in a Big 12 ACC showdown, which has happened before. K-State played them 2 years in a row. In 2011 and 2012, K-State won both of those games, including one in overtime, fourth down stop at Miami. That was pretty cool. And then the next year they beat the crap out of them here at Bill Snyder Family Stadium. But man, there's some pretty good matchups here. You got Dion versus his old school, Florida State. You got KU Duke, a perennial basketball powers, but in football here, this is wild, man. This is a wild showdown list. Your thoughts on it?
Shout out to I think it was like a Big 12 sports talk.
College football
Facebook,
live.
College Football Live on Facebook. Shout out to them for putting this graphic up. We definitely snagged it from you guys. And, this is kind of a good comparison here that we got, because like you said, last year they got two teams in the ACC kind of snubbing BYU a little bit, because we did have a BYU SMU matchup, and BYU did beat SMU, also proving that they had a better report card or whatever
at SMU as well. Resume. They had a better resume.
At SMU. They had a better resume. There you go. Report card, resume. It's all the same. So I thought it'd be cool to talk about this, because I really like this graphic, and I think we've got really good matchups here. I mean, Texas Tech, SMU, that's great. K-State, Miami, that's bringing back another, like you said, rivalry back in the early 2010s. Arizona State versus Clemson, arguably the two strongest teams in each conference right now.
The two teams that went to the CFP last year.
Yeah, that would be a game. That would be a really good game. And I like Iowa State and Syracuse. I mean, that's really good. Utah and Virginia Tech, like that's really fun too. Virginia Tech fans are like absolutely insane. And same thing with Utah. Like, doesn't matter how bad they are, they both schools think that they're going to be going to like first place in the college football playoffs. So it's like it's a really, really cool matchup. But I'd like to just kind of go down the line, realistically, go down the line and see who would win this showdown, right?
If they were playing this season, is what you're saying.
If they were playing this season, who do you think takes it?
Okay, real quick before you do that, I just want to say West Virginia was snubbed by putting Cincinnati there. How do we not put West Virginia versus Pitt for the backyard brawl, big rivalry game? How is that not the ACC Big 12 showdown? But I digress. That should have been on there. Take out Cincinnati, put in West Virginia. That's out of that.
Yeah, let's take out Cincinnati, put West Virginia there, because the backyard brawl is kind of a big deal. It's like an actual rivalry. So, and if we're just like, don't look at Cincinnati, we're going to see West Virginia. If I were to call West Virginia versus Pitt, I'm going to have to go Pitt this year.
I would too. I mean, West Virginia's having their pick last by almost everyone. They replace everyone, got a new or old coach, however you want to say it. Pitt's beaten them a bunch of times in a row. Crazy game last year, honestly. Pitt won a bunch of crazy games last year, actually. So yeah, I would have taken Pitt there.
Yes. You take the next one.
Okay.
I think we're going to go.
We're starting from the bottom. We'll go to the top. How about that? KU versus Duke. Duke has got the Darian Mensah kid from Tulane at quarterback, the transfer quarterback. KU's got JD6. I cannot, on a K-State podcast, pick KU to win a game. So I'm going to go Duke here.
Oh, my God. Dude, we're starting out giving ACC both dubs here?
I have to. West Virginia stinks, and I cannot pick KU. After that, we'll see.
Yeah, see, okay. I haven't watched – I'm going to be honest with you, Steve. I have not watched enough Duke to give an honest opinion. Are they even good at football?
They're solid. They're solid. Them and KU played last year. Close game. Actually, it was 2 years ago. And KU won that game.
Yeah. Okay. If this
they're
is
solid.
tough, man.
They're not great, but they're solid. I think they're better than KU, honestly.
It's tough. I feel like I'm going to go with you on this one. Just for the sole reason that we can't pick our little brother to win. It's blue bloods in the basketball world. But I guess I'll go with you on this one. The Devils take it.
Okay.
The ACC's up 2-0 right now.
Yep. Dion versus his former school, Colorado versus Florida State. I don't know where this game would be played. I think they both are not very good. I think Colorado's going to be bottom 4 this year. So I think Florida State's going to be better than they were the last year or two. I'm going to go Florida State here.
This is a Big 12 podcast, Steve, and
I
we
know,
are.
but come on, come at me, Colorado fans.
Oh my gosh, dude, it's hard because we haven't seen a single game yet.
Nope.
From both of these teams, and FSU after that undefeated season, and
The
also
wheels have
getting
come off.
snubbed, the wheels have fallen off. I mean, in some cases, I don't blame them, but in most cases, I'm like, yo, like you're still a school that needs to perform. Like you can't just say like, oh well, we got snubbed, and so the world is against us, so we might as well not try anymore. No, you still need to try. You
Yep.
you need to actually perform every year. So I don't know, man. This is like Dion is in it to win it. And
Yes.
I definitely respect his drive. He's not just trying to like he actually seems genuinely like willing to be a solid coach in the Big 12. And you and I were shocked at a lot of the things. Like he wasn't as bad as we thought he would be. Like he would do some things like coming out on the field and putting his arm around the coaches when there was a player down on the other team, and that's like classy stuff. And it's like you also hear him on interviews, and he's trying to his best to like coach these kids. He's not, so I don't know. It's
Yeah, but then he
hard.
also bans certain media outlets that he doesn't like that don't say nice things about him. So
That's true. That's true. All right, I'm gonna go with you again on this. I'll go FSU. I just think overall, like you said, they have a better program, and they just have a better area to recruit kids, and they're a more storied program in general.
yep,
Like they
they are.
have a better like history with like having good seasons. So I mean, yes, they had a undefeated season, like literally 3 years ago. So I, you gotta go with FSU. Colorado had one good season in the last like 15
20.
years,
Yeah, last 20
20
years.
years.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. After this is where I think, starting here is where I think the Big 12 really starts getting rolling here. Utah versus Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech has not been great for a while, though Utah did have one bad season last year. I mean, a lot of people are still picking them to be pretty good, if not winning the Big 12 this year. I definitely think the Utah Utes in their defense, Whittingham, all of that, all of the above, would definitely get the win against the Hokies of Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't been good since like the early 2000s. That's really when I think they were like phenomenal back then.
Mike Vick.
Yeah, basically. When you have a guy like that. Yeah, I'm going to go Utah here. There's just something about that that area, just getting kids out there. They just got like basically a chokehold on the whole like state pretty much.
Yep.
Whereas like Virginia, you're surrounded by a bunch of different schools, and it's not very far from home, so they don't get like the best players, I feel like. So it's tough, but I think Utah is a solid team. They've got great defense, like you mentioned. I haven't watched a lot of Virginia Tech, but I can't
They've been
imagine
so
them
to
being.
bad for a while now, actually.
I haven't really seen a lot of noise out of them for a while. I mean, I know their fans go crazy with that crazy intro.
Oh, dude, they have the best intro in college football.
Yeah, the
Enter
best intro
Sandman.
ever. Yeah,
Yep.
that's the best intro. You guys can have that.
The intro doesn't win games. The intro
we
does
had
not
Ozzy
win
Osbourne
games.
though. We had Ozzy Osbourne though.
K-State?
Yeah.
Okay, Iowa
Rest in
State.
peace, Ozzy Osbourne.
Yes.
Rest in peace.
I never would have put that on my bingo card, us mentioning him. Iowa State versus Syracuse here. Rocco Becht versus, I believe, Kyle McCord, former Ohio State quarterback. I mean, the dome that they play in is pretty cool. I think whoever would be the home team would probably win this game. Though I do think overall, Iowa State, if it was played in a neutral site, Iowa State would win that as well. I just think they're a better team overall. Rocco Becht is good.
Yeah.
Their defense is always solid. Matt Campbell, good head football coach. They're picked near the top of the Big 12. I have them on my top 5 of the conference this year. I'm going to go Iowa State over Syracuse.
Yeah, Syracuse is such a solid school. They're like really underrated, I feel like. They're kind of like that sneaky middle of the pack team that can take games off of teams that are better than them, which is good. You need a team like that in your arsenal. So like the ACC definitely has a solid team in Syracuse, playing for the conference. And I think putting them against Iowa State, which is also a really solid team, like Iowa State just got their very first 10-win season, but like they've always been a really solid team every year they've played in the Big 12. They just couldn't get over that hump until last year. So I think this is a really good pairing, and it's really hard to pick because, like you said, I think if they were played in their home crowd, that would be the winning team. So, but if it is played in a neutral site, I kind of agree. I think Iowa State does edge them out. I think overall, when you got teams that are like really good in their own comparable, and they're like, let's say the 6th best team against the 6th best team in the conference, I would always give the edge to the Big 12 because I just feel like we play a much more physical type of football.
Yeah, they play finesse
ACC.
in the ACC.
Yeah.
We play physical. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Speaking
so
of,
go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. You go.
Speaking of physical, Kalani Sitake's defense against Bill Belichick, new head football coach of North Carolina. That would be. That's
actually going to happen.
That's
actually going to happen.
Do they play each other this year?
Hold on.
No way.
UNC football schedule. Oh no, it's TCU. Sorry, okay. It's TCU. Well, then that should have been the game. That should have
been the game. Flip those.
Isn't that wild though? That TCU
is wild.
Is playing the first game that of going against Bill Belichick is against TCU. That's so
amazing. BYU versus UNC. I think BYU would not only win, I think they would beat down North Carolina. I really do. North Carolina's defense has been trashed for a couple of years now. They had a new head coach. I don't see that actually working out at all for North Carolina. I know they've sold out all their tickets with the new head coach, Bill Belichick, who, by the way, dating a 24-year-old. So that's wild. That's wild.
I didn't think that. I did not have Bill Belichick's girlfriend on my bingo card.
I don't care who the quarterback is for BYU. BYU would annihilate the Tar Heels.
They have the other two phases of football that they're just better. Their special teams and their defense is just head and shoulders over they're head and shoulders over most teams in the country.
Yes.
And this is like middle of the road ACC team. Yeah. I don't care if you're coached by the freaking like god of football. Like it doesn't matter. You still have to have the players to actually pull it off. And so, yeah, I mean, Bill Belichick is, considered one of the best coaches to ever play ever coach the game, and so, but it is kind of cool though for the first time. I mean, we're not talking about BYU, like TCU is actually going to go in and play against Bill Belichick's first college coach.
That's wild,
career.
Dude. That's wild.
That's so amazing. All right. BYU takes it. Battle of the Blue. We're getting it out of there. Yeah. BYU takes the win here. Okay. This is an interesting game, though.
Baylor, Georgia Tech. Baylor versus the Fighting Calvin Johnsons of Georgia Tech. Oh, man.
Wow.
I think Baylor is pretty darn good. Georgia Tech has been up and down for ever, which, by the way, they actually have a nice stadium. But they don't get a ton of people to go to their games. Neither does Baylor, though. Let's be honest. Neither does Baylor unless it's a big game. I think Baylor's better. I think Sari Robinson's pretty good. I think Dave Aranda is a decent coach. I'm taking the Baylor Bears here by 7.
Dude. This is one of the best pairing games. This is up there with the Iowa State Syracuse game. This is I think this would be the closest game out of everybody. I think they might win. I'd take the Baylor Bears by 1. I think they'd win by 1. it'd be like a crazy like missed field goal or something.
You think
Like
so, huh?
I think it would be back and forth. Like this game would be tough on both sides. Yeah, I'll give Baylor the edge here, but this is tough for me to pick because I think Georgia Tech is they're like a top 5 ACC team
They
like almost
they almost
every
beat
year,
Georgia
right?
last year, dude. They should have beaten Georgia.
Yeah, yeah. They're a good team, man. They're a good school, good program, good coaching, and they have like arguably the best market to grab kids.
Yeah,
You know,
Atlanta. Yep. Yep.
it's too good. It's too good, man. And
Uh
yeah, Baylor, I would give them the edge for this year. For this year, you know,
okay. Okay.
maybe last year not so much.
Okay, a pair of 9-4 teams from 2024, TCU versus Louisville. This
Yeah, this
is a
is
game
interesting.
that I'm actually going to let you pick first because it's close for me, man. It's real close. I feel like whoever's the home team would probably win, but neutral site, I don't know.
We're
Talk
talking
me into it,
TC,
man. Talk me into
we're,
it.
we're talking TCU's outstanding offense versus Louisville, who's got a solid team all around. And it's like I said, I feel like if you've got a good enough defense, your mid offense could win a lot of games. I might go Louisville here. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm going to go Louisville too. I'm going
I think I'm
Louisville.
going Louisville.
They beat Clemson last year. We all know Clemson made the CFP. They only lost by 7 to SMU, who also made the CFP. I think they're a solid team. I think I have real questions about TCU's defense. We talked about it earlier on a different pod. We have them in the top half, but on the lower end of the top half.
Yeah.
They're a good team, not a great team. They stack wins against bad teams. I think Louisville would win this game. I think they're the better team.
Yep. Better team, better program, better school.
I don't know about better program. I don't know about that. TCU's had a pretty darn good program for last 15, 20 years.
Recently, yes, they've definitely had some good. They had a good run in 2022 for sure.
By the way, Louisville totally should be in the Big 12. We passed on them in 2010, 11, 12, all of that. They should
That
be
was
in
a
the Big 12.
mistake.
Yeah,
that was a mistake.
Mistake.
Brian Hanley would have loved that.
Oh yeah, he would have loved that, dude.
Brian Hanley would have loved.
Didn't think we'd talk about him on today's pod. Great guy. We need to get him back on for sure. Okay.
We're hitting all the bingo cards.
We are. Texas Tech, SMU. Ooh,
woo! Battle of Texas. Yikes, dude.
Battle of the checkbooks, dude. Both teams. I'll tell you what, SMU paid a ton of money just to get into a power conference. They're not taking money for 7 years. And Texas Tech is over here spending $40 million building a football roster, man. Oh my gosh.
Dude, SMU, I mean, like they spent a fortune getting into a Power 4 conference, and I guarantee you every meeting in that locker room was like, we need to freaking win. We just dropped the whole entire checkbook on this entire school. So, yeah, they had a lot to play for, but dude, did it pay off? Because
it did.
It did one of the best seasons ever. But I don't know, like was that just like a miracle run? Was that like a one and done season? Texas Tech is kind of doing the same thing.
I don't disagree.
Is it? But this time they didn't just try to get into a better conference. They spent it on the players, and we don't know how this is going to pan out. Texas Tech has always kind of been that like little engine that could in the Big 12. Like they just could never get over that hump. And it's just they've had great players come through. I mean, like hello, Patrick Mahomes. Like great. Like that's a huge player. So I mean, it's just kind of like. I don't know, man. If you think about it, did SMU bring a lot of players back from that previous season?
I do not know.
See, I don't know either. But if I had to take a wild guess, I'm going to say they probably didn't. I'm going to say they maybe had like a lot of seniors on that roster. You know what? I'm going to go Texas Tech here. I'm going to bet the wallet this year I'm going to bet on the wallet side.
I'm going to go
And
Texas Tech as well.
I have them like, what was it? Top 4, top 3?
We had them in a conference championship game against K-State.
Oh, well, yeah. But I mean, like that before we did the
the preseason power rankings. Yeah, you had them in the
preseason
top 4.
power rankings before we looked at the schedule.
Yeah, I had them 5th.
I had them 4th, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think yeah. Are we going to save the K-State Miami for last and go to
Saw some recent highlights of Avery throwing some rocket shots across the middle, was throwing darts. Guess I didn't realize the kind of arm strength he's got. Yeah, no, it's crazy. Thank you.
Dude, he was a top 10 quarterback in his draft class.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about quarterbacks.
Who said that? Who said that, Steve?
Fong Wei Reldman. Well, we're going to talk about Big 12 quarterbacks in the next segment. We're almost done. But I'm going to take Texas Tech to win this game. SMU struggled with BYU last year. BYU did not even finish in the top 2 in a conference. They should have. I mean, honestly, their game against Arizona State, and obviously the winner went to Arlington. That game was probably one of the best games of the entire season. So, and BYU beat
Don't lose
SMU.
to KU.
I'm going to pick a Big 12 team here. I'm going to go Texas Tech wins this game 34-30.
Betting on the wallet.
Yeah, we're gonna skip K-State Miami. We'll do that last. We're gonna go Arizona State Clemson, a pair of teams that went to the CFP last year. We know Clemson typically gets 4 and 5 star players, but they've had a couple of down years for them. Arizona State definitely had an up year for them, considering their pick last in a conference. But if we're talking about just 2025, I'm taking Sam Leavitt, Arizona State. Kenny Dillingham, best name in college football, to win this game over Clemson. It's close. It's like 28-27 type game, dude. But I'm taking the Big 12 over the ACC in a close game.
Oh, my God. Yeah, Sam Leavitt coming back, second year starting. I mean, the dude is an absolute beast with the Tyson kid. I mean,
Jordan Tyson.
That's probably
yeah.
That's got to be the best 1-2 punch of the entire Big 12 and maybe top 10 in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's really scary. Look, Arizona, I had them picked in my preseason power rankings number 3, I believe.
I think I had a number 2 for me. Arizona
State. Because I had Baylor at number 2 for me. So number 3 for me, Clemson. I think you're right. They do get a lot of like extremely phenomenal players, but for whatever reason, it never it doesn't always really translate.
Yeah.
Into like cohesive team and synergy.
Kind of like Texas for like 5 to 8 years there, where they'd had a bunch of talent, but they couldn't work together as a team.
Yeah, there's a bunch of egos on the field. So, and they all were going to get drafted, and they knew that. They were going through the motions and whatever. They had no loyalty to the school. Whereas I think the opposite for Arizona State. I mean, you got a guy like Kenny Dillingham, like you said, the best coaching name in all of college sports right now. You got a guy like that who, is amped up and, that's his home school and hometown, and he just like has a lot of pride, and I think he instills a lot of that pride into those players. And I mean, again, how do you get a team that was ranked dead last? I mean, the 2 years prior to that, they only got 3 wins, 2 years in a row. Yep. So it's like, how do you go from that to like being not only the best team in the Big 12, but then also
they got better every week too. They got way better every single week, every game.
Going to the college football playoff and almost taking a game off the arguably the number 1 team out of the SEC.
Yep.
Took them to 5 overtimes or whatever. Like, it was insane. So,
who you picking?
All that to say, Clemson's going to get the win. I'm just kidding. I'm going Arizona State. Arizona State Sun Devils, you made a believer out of me. So, which, by the way, I was always like, in your corner. I always thought that you were like in those games that those seasons when you went 3 wins only. Like I was like, yo, I watched those games.
Oh yeah,
You guys were there. It's just you let it fall off at the end, but you were there in a lot of those games. So we both picked Arizona State. Now on to the K-State Wildcats versus the U.
Yeah, Miami. I mean, K-State's played them a couple times in the last 15 years. Back all the way when K-State had Colin Klein at quarterback and Tyler Lockett at receiver. K-State's winning 10, 11 games, winning the Big 12. The last time they played, Kenny, K-State won 52-13. 52-13. K-State put a whooping on them. The year before, K-State won on a goal line stand on 4th down. They originally called it a touchdown, took it off the board because K-State stopped them a yard short. I think if they played right now, K-State is the way more physical team. Way more physical. I mean, if it was played at Miami, there might be 15,000 people there. Like, they do not care about football there at Miami like they used to. They just don't. If it's at K-State, K-State is filling up the bill. So regardless of where it's played at, I think K-State wins. I think Avery Johnson to Dylan Edwards and Jace Brown and Lincoln Cure had a bunch of the weapons. K-State wins by double digits against the U.
All I'm going to say is thank God Cam Ward is not playing for this team.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
In this scenario.
And we saw a big difference of when he wasn't playing quarterback. They lost the game against Iowa State. Depends on if the U brings their own ACC refs to the game. LOL, says Fong Wei. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, so I think, with Cam Ward not being on the team, it's 2025, so he's not here. So I think I agree with everything you said. K-State, much more physical team. This year alone, we are extremely more dynamic than in terms of like what is on our roster, the weapons that we have. We were very one-dimensional last year, but even then, I think like if we had that same team this year and they had, they have the team that they have now, I still think we would dominate them because I don't know how you would answer a DJ Giddens. I just have no idea. The only question marks that K-State has at all is, the new offensive coordinator switch and our second and our O-line and secondary. Yeah, we did have a tragedy, not really a tragedy, but it's like a unfortunate event. Our left tackle, which was being praised and raved about in Big 12 Media Day.
Fitz.
Yeah.
That's his nickname.
Yeah, his nickname's Fitz. He has some sort of medical condition. They're not really.
I heard
it
was just like heat exhaustion. He should be fine.
Yeah, I hope he's fine. I really do because they were talking about how they're extremely excited about him, definitely being the starting left tackle, and that's like one of the most, if not the most important position on the line. Protecting your quarterback. So all that to say, K-State's coming out with the dub. Whether we're down in Miami or definitely at the Bill. So, yeah, I definitely agree with you. So, with all that said and done, I don't know if you did the tally, but it looks like, let's see,
7 wins,
3,
7-4.
Ooh, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're right.
7-4. Big 12 would win this. We should do this again against the Big 10 against the SEC as well. That would be fun. That'd be fun.
Oh, that would be fun. K-State, Nebraska? Oh, my God.
Ooh, I like it. Dude.
That'd be a good matchup right off the jump.
Yes, sir.
The 1998 rematch.
That's ACC Big 12 showdown. Okay, we got one more segment to go. Kenny, the Big 12 has the most returning quarterbacks in the conference, in their respective conference in the nation. They got 9 returning quarterbacks, and we're going to rank them here. We're going to rank them 1 through, I think we should assume 1 through 5, but we're going to talk about them. Rocco Becht at Iowa State, Jalen Daniels at KU, Noah Fafita at Arizona, which I'm surprised he's still there because he put his name into the portal, decided to come back. Josh Hoover at TCU. Of course, Avery Johnson at K-State. Sam Levitt, preseason player of the year for Arizona State. Baron Morton at Texas Tech. Sawyer Robertson at Baylor. And then Brendan Sorsby at Cincinnati. Kenny? You want to go first? Want me to go first?
We're just ranking them.
We're going to rank them 1 through 5. We can start at 5 and work our way down.
Okay. I'm going to put 5. My number 5. Man, this is a tough list. I think it would be better to like go from 1 to 5, but
we can do 1. We can do 1 to 5. Let's go 1 to 5.
Let me work backwards. Like 1 to starting at. Let's go. This is tough. Okay. 1, 2. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I have my 5. I'll go first. At number 5.
I'll go. Yeah.
At number 5, I'm going to go Sawyer Robertson at Baylor. I think he's a pretty good quarterback. He came in, put a whooping on Texas Tech last year. Led him to, I think, 9 wins for the Baylor Bears last year. They're, picked near the top of the Big 12 this year. Pretty darn good quarterback. I got him as the 5th best in the Big 12 heading into the 2025 season.
That's my 5th.
Okay. All right.
That's my 5th as well. All right. I'll go to my 4th. My 4th is going to be Rocco Becht.
That's my number 4 too.
Yeah.
That's my number 4 too. Okay.
Yeah.
11
Rocco
wins
Becht,
last year.
Solid quarterback. Got the team to their very first ever double-digit win season. You got to put some respect on that. The dude is a dog. He is tough as nails. Like K-State definitely put some pressure on him. He got hit a lot. He was able to bounce right back up. I mean, there were some hits from VJ Payne. I mean, just coming in and just leveling him out. And then he bounced right back up and kept playing. I'm like, God dang, this he could take a hit and still perform and do well. I mean, you saw him, like he was exhausted. It was like negative 10 degrees outside. It was a wild game. But Rocco Becht is a dog. I mean, you got to put some respect on him. And so he's going to definitely be my number 4. Your number 4 is also Rocco Becht. So you get to pick number 3.
Yeah, I got him number 4. He would probably be higher, but he lost his 2 NFL wide receivers this year. And we saw in that cold game that he struggled a little bit finding guys. But I think Matt Campbell does pretty good at returning quarterback, so I have him number 4. Number 3, Josh Hoover from TCU.
That's who I have.
We're going to have the same top 5. I already know it. Josh Hoover,
crap.
TCU, broke a bunch of different records last year. I think he passed for 400 yards in a game. Great quarterback. Sucks that he's on a team with no defense. It really does. Sonny Dykes has Josh Hoover here. I think he's a pretty good quarterback. I think he's pretty good. In fact, you put him on, let's say, I don't know, in Alabama, or you put him on Ohio State or something. I mean, I think they go to the national championship game, right? Like, he's a pretty darn good quarterback, but he is not as good as the top 2. And Kenny, anything else you want to add to Josh Hoover?
Yeah. Josh Hoover. Okay. This is your like quarterback.
Yep.
He will sit in the pocket and he can just sling them. I mean, he's got one of the most beautiful throwing arms in the Big 12 and honestly in the country. And I agree with everything you said about putting him on a team that actually has has a defense that can back up his offense. I mean, he can put up the numbers and just get him on an actual decent team and you're going to see some magic. If he remains
4,000 passing yards last year, by the way, sorry.
If he remains healthy, you might be looking at the next like star quarterback in the NFL.
Oh yeah.
Like he knows he's like a dang Peyton Manning. Like when it comes to that arm, dude, he is unbelievable. So shout out to Josh Hoover. You made the number 3. The only reason why you're number 3 is because when it comes to college football now in the pros, you can get away with just sitting in the pocket, but in college football, you got to be able to scramble. You got to be able to run. And there is none other No other better runners / arm throwers than these top two. But I'm going to
Dual
go
threat
with
guys.
Avery Johnson as my number 2.
We do not have the same top 5.
I have to put Avery Johnson at number 2, and here's why. Because he is unproven with his consistency at his arm. He can, I mean, look, you trust him to throw a dime, he could do it. He did it in the Colorado game. And he had moments throughout the season where he could just, throw dimes right at the players, but he's not consistent. Also, he had a lot of interceptions last year. He threw a lot of interceptions. And I don't know if that was just bad reads or, the call wasn't there or, miscommunication on the field. I mean, I think there was a lot of that miscommunication on the field. And it just was, it was ugly.
Desert Devil says Kenny knows.
However, when Avery wants to run, there isn't a single quarterback that's better than him at the run. Not even close. I mean, Sam Levitt's a dog, and he's really good at the run. You got JD6 that's really good at the run as well. But Avery's on a whole nother level. He is literally game-breaking speed. It's unbelievable. I've seen it firsthand. Nobody can touch this kid. It's unreal how fast he is. I mean, that's his what puts him so high on the list is that he can throw, but he's just not quite there with the accuracy. I really hope that that's all he worked on all off season. He definitely hit the gym, so he's going to be a little bit more stronger, be able to hit take a little bit more durable. Which that just means that he's probably going to do some more options and more runs, and maybe stay a little bit more confident in the pocket. Getting a little bit bigger in size, but that's why he's my number 2. Steve, we disagree.
Sam Levitt, I mean, he's the same age as Avery Johnson, the same size. They're both 6'2", about 200 pounds. Sam Levitt won head-to-head last year. Had more passing yards, less interceptions, more touchdowns, better season, all of that. Having said that, I think the ceiling for Avery Johnson is higher. So I'm going to go Sam Levitt at number 2. I think he's a pretty good quarterback.
I agree with that, but it's not proven though. Like, that's what I'm saying. You're going off of like an unproven statistic.
If I'm drafting Avery Johnson 1, Sam Levitt 2. I think the ceiling is higher. The ceiling is higher.
Okay, hold on.
I know it's crazy to say. I know. I just listed off all the things that Sam Levitt was better at last year.
Okay, yes.
And they're the same age.
It depends on what your goal is as an organization. Are you wanting to have are you wanting to know what you're getting? Because I feel like Sam Levitt is like he's the total package and he's proven it. Whereas Avery, you're saying that which I agree with you. Avery is like the total package, but it's unproven and it could potentially be better than Sam under certain circumstances, like better training or whatever, more
better
everything.
Reps, he's faster. I think he has a better deep ball. I just think
he easily has the better hair. He has the better hair
and better hair. I mean, that has to count for something, man. It has got to count for something. Avery does not have Jordan Tyson though, and I think Arizona State had some pretty good weapons on the outside that K-State did not have a year ago. I think that helped them a lot. I think their defense is better too. I think Sam Levitt's really good. I really do. I mean, I have him in the top 2. I got Arizona State as the second best team going into the season. I think that he's a pretty good quarterback. I do not think he's going to have a better season in 2025 than Avery Johnson. I'm looking at 3,000 plus passing yards. I'm looking at 30 plus touchdowns. I'm looking at 12 touchdowns on the ground. I'm looking at K-State being very dynamic in the run game, in the pass game, with a new
Avery
OC,
with
man.
500 plus rushing yards.
Yeah. I mean, 3,500 total yards, 40 plus touchdowns combined. I think Avery Johnson is due for a breakout season, man.
There's no doubt that Avery Johnson, and I've even called this in previous shows. I've said that he has the potential to be better than Bishop. So
you have said that.
I have said that, but the thing is that Sam Levitt right now is at the top of his game, and he just needs to like
Kenny, it's 2025, not 2024. Remember that.
Yes, I know. So that's what I have to base this on, though. I have to base this on what I saw last year. I know that he's bulked up this year. I mean, that's all they focused on offseason is Avery hitting the gym and bulking up. The dude is, if you have seen him without his shirt on, the dude looks like a freaking beast of a quarterback. I mean, it's unreal how cut this kid is now. It's crazy. And then not to mention his speed is unbelievable. And he's like the second fastest kid on the whole team. And he's the quarterback. So the only one that's faster is the free safety, but he's got 2 years on him. So it's like okay, but I don't know, man. I definitely think I'd have to see. I think that both quarterbacks are phenomenal, but I think what's going to win K-State more games and why I think K-State's going to win the Big 12 this year is not solely on Avery. I think it's the DE3. I think it's going to be the
linebackers,
Jace
Brown, Lincoln Cure.
Yeah, Jace Brown. I think it's Lincoln Cure for sure. I just think it's like the whole team effort, but I definitely think Avery Johnson is like the best captain for the ship on that team. And like you said, very dynamic. He could do the run, he could do the pass. So before we go on,
hold on real quick. Desert Devil had a couple of things. He said
right.
ASU has 3 number 1 receivers this year. They really do. The new kid from Alabama, Clemson, and Fresno State. Levitt will throw for 4,000 yards this year. He also says you guys are not factoring crying Chris and his horrible play calling. Wow. Okay.
Well,
right.
Chris doesn't call the plays. It would be Matt Wells this year. Last year it wasn't Chris. It was Connor Riley. Which Connor Riley is a lineman coach that just got promoted to the Dallas Cowboys.
O-line coach. Yep.
Yeah, he's the Dallas Cowboys O-line coach. He's one of the best O-line coaches in the nation. And so he just got promoted. And Matt Wells is a quarterback coach, so that's actually perfect for the play calling.
He coached Jordan Love, who's now in the NFL.
Coach Jordan Love. He's playing for Green Bay right now. And I think right now Matt Wells being a play caller for Avery is perfect. They've had a whole year to gel as the quarterback relationship goes. I just really think that this year Matt Wells is going to bring a little bit more creativity to the field, whereas Connor Riley was more about, hey, I got this really great O-line. I've got this amazing running back named DJ Giddens who's going to go to the NFL. We're just going to run it up the gut every time, and let's see if you could stop it. And that didn't leave that left a lot to be desired in terms of play calling creativity. And when we watched the Rutgers versus K-State bowl game, when Matt Wells basically took a hold of the entire play calling playbook, we saw the creativity, and man, was it exciting. It was very exciting.
Oh, yeah.
And K-State ended up winning that game pretty handily. So
I just want to say real quick before we move on, if I had to rank the rest of these, I would have put Morton 6 from Texas Tech. I would have put Jalen Daniels 7, Noah Fafita 8, and Brendan Sorsby 9.
Brendan Sorsby would definitely be the last place one. I don't know. I think Noah Fafita is better than Brandon Morton, I think.
I think he's better than Baron Morton? Wow.
I think Noah Fafita I think he had a choking year because the year before that, dude, they were unbelievable.
They were. But he doesn't have Tedero McMillan anymore.
That's true. But I still think he is an extremely talented person.
Okay, so who would be your 6 through 9 then?
6 would definitely be Noah. I put Brandon Morton 7, JD 6, 8th, and then Brandon Sorsby 9th.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's ranking the Big 12 quarterbacks.
And it's fun. It's fun going back and forth with the people on the comments.
Oh yeah,
a lot of passionate fans. They can't wait for the season to start. Hey, all you guys are really hungry for some college football, and the ones that are Big 12 lovers like us. You're gonna get this great experience where
all
there's going to
season.
be week zero, where you're not only going to get college football, but you're going to get Farmageddon
Week
on week
zero. August 23rd in 4 weeks.
One of the best storied rivalries in college football.
One of the best games in the entire season. Like, we got to rank those later. I think it's got to be a top 5 game of the season, man. Top 5, top 10. It's got to
be. It always delivers. Always delivers. It is one of the best games, the best rivalry, one of the best rivalries in college football. It's like the most consecutive, without stopping rivalry game. And it will end in 2027. I really hope that it doesn't. There's still time to change it.
Yep.
But yeah, it's
we cannot. I agree, Desert Devil. We cannot lose that week 0 match. Cannot.
Yeah, no, he's absolutely right. If we lose that week 0 match, I mean, that's going to be bad news. Bad news for the Cats' hopes and dreams for the Big 12 championship.
Yep.
But I don't think that's going to happen because Iowa State is like always like
a slow starter.
Yeah, it takes a while for them to ramp up and get their feet on the ground. And so I think I like our chances. Whereas K-State usually always comes out hot.
Yep.
And then we kind of lose steam at the end of the season, which is why we focused on I was going to say why we focused so much on the gym this year, but this is what I was going to say to our Desert Devil fan. Do you want to know why Avery Johnson and Sam Levitt are so close in comparison? It's interesting. Your own coach, Kenny Dillingham, wanted Avery Johnson very badly.
He did.
Like he was scouting Avery big time. He was like, I want this kid so bad. He was pulling for Avery like he was trying to get him, like he was his number 1 pick. So just take that into consideration, that your own coach knows how good Avery is.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, yo, this kid's amazing. Like, I want him. So, I'm not saying he didn't end up with a great quarterback. Clearly he did.
Right.
But, he himself admits that Avery Johnson's the real deal. So
I agree.
Just take that into consideration. We're not just blowing smoke because we're K-State fans. Like, we know what we have. Okay. We know what we have.
We see it every single week.
Yeah, we watch them every week. We also had
Avery should have listened to Kenny, he says.
Yeah, right. We also had a little guy named Will Howard who just won the entire college football playoff last year that played for K-State. And we let him go to keep Avery, if that says anything.
Team JPCX3 says, kind of sidebar, but as a Baylor fan, I hope we get a competitive game this year. Still have nightmares from that 2022 game where Deuce and Senate destroyed us. We don't even acknowledge 2023.
You don't acknowledge 2023.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
Oh, I love these fans, dude. I love them. Yeah.
They went like 1-11 that year or something. Something real bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Baylor's always been a tough school, and that's why I have.
They've had K-State's number forever.
Yeah, for whatever reason, K-State and Baylor, just the school rivalry. It's not even a rivalry, really, but it's just like they just play each other so tough in almost every sport: volleyball, basketball, football. Like they're always that team that just gives K-State the hardest time. And yeah, man, they're a tough school. They're a really good program, like across the board on every level. So,
yep,
got to give them your respect to them because they're a good school. So that's why I'm always worried about them. Going in, they can take your hopes and dreams away.
They had all those Texas boys of all the athletes that like to throw the ball all over the field. Man, RG3 was the real deal back in the day. The real deal.
Yeah, he was no joke for sure. I mean, Texas is like where all the kids are being bred.
That's where they're all from.
Yeah, everybody's looking for, NFL players that basically are all from Texas, because that Pee Wee program they have down there is unbelievable.
Right, and they have spring football and all that. So, well, Kenny, it's been good. It's been fun. We plan to be back soon. We are planning on doing breakdowns of every team coming up at some point, but hopefully people still enjoyed today's podcast. We're going to be putting this out again like we normally do as regular videos, or anyone that just wants to watch, this segment where we talk about, realignment, ACC versus the Big 12, and of course, ranking the Big 12 quarterbacks. Kenny, there's just one last thing to say before we play the new and improved world premiere of our new outro you created.
Well, the last thing to say is I'm going to be having Cold Stone.
I'm jealous. Yeah. I'm jealous.
Yep, it's waiting for me right now. Steve, I hope you have a lovely vacation that you're going on here in the next few days. I'm not going to dox you. I'm going to
the lake, baby.
Where you're going.
I'm going to the lake, baby.
He's going to a lake in America somewhere. That helps.
Yep.
That's not doxing.
Yep.
But other than that, go Big 12. ACC, you're trash. Don't go to the SEC, Carolina, please.
I agree. Stay.
Go Cats.
Go Cats, baby.
I'm bleeding purple. Every man a wildcat. Emo. I'm bleeding purple. Every man a wildcat. Emo.